Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we're talking 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 7, Episode 13, Can't Fight This Feeling. So, again, sorry for not doing a video last week. I'm trying to get back into the groove of things. But we're going to get right on start. We did not see Jenny and Submit in this episode. And I'm going to kick things off with Big Ed and Liz. So, Big Ed and Liz, they decide to go to Arkansas to meet the rest of Big Ed's family. And they're going to attempt to have another engagement party because we all remember what happened the last time. Now, this episode, not much went down. Liz is a little apprehensive about going because they're still recovering from it. They meet up with, I believe it was Ed's sister or I don't know, some more of his extended family where he's from. And, he's just upset that he's not talking to his mother right now because his mother, Norma, is not approving of the relationship with Liz right now. And, they were asking Liz questions and Liz got emotional and everything. So Liz just started crying at the little table that they were on. And then later in the episode, Ed took Liz to his high school. And I didn't know this about Ed. He used to run track, so they went to the track field, and Ed was teaching Liz how to position himself and how to run and stuff and everything. And Ed just he don't got it like he used to anymore. So that's pretty funny. But nonetheless, not much went down with Ed and Liz. They made it to Arkansas. They're gonna attempt to have another party. I hope it goes well. Ed did ask Liz, did you feel bullied in high school? Because Ed said he was bullied a lot until he became like a class clown. Liz said that she was not bullied, but she didn't have much friends growing up. So, it explains why, they are the way they are, just hearing their little background story, I said at the beginning on Happily Ever started, I'm not doing the Big Ed hate on these videos. A lot of people hate on Big Ed for a lot of reasons. I'm not going to do the Big Ed hate. I have to look really deep into it. Now, there's something about Ed, good or bad, that, just people talk about him and stuff. So I'm not doing the Big Ed hate because he doesn't really deserve the hate that he gets on social media that much. So I'm just saying. But that was Big Ed and Liz. Next I want to talk is Kimberly and Usman. So last week's episode, since I didn't do a recap last week's episode, Kimberly and Usman got the blessing from the mom, surprisingly. And it wrote down, they put down a written contract that's saying that, they can't buy or be around properties that Usman's family owns or whatever. And Kimberly Usman, if he makes it to America, must come to Nigeria every quarter to visit. And Kimberly allows Usman to have a second wife so he can have a child. And Kimberly was like, well, this is the blessing. This is the blessing. And this is the blessing. So she's all excited. They basically got the blessing from the mom. Now she wants to start the K-1 visa. This episode, Usman actually does it right by proposing to Kimberly. He proposes to Kimberly. Of course, she says yes. And so they call an immigration lawyer. And the immigration lawyer basically told him, polygamy is not allowed in the United States. And I'm just thinking, well, duh. Well, duh. As Usman doing the second wife thing, he can't do that in America. He could try to do that in Nigeria. The immigration lawyer said, yeah, we don't know what other countries do, but, if the Americans found that out, Usman could not get his green card. So now they got to think of another way. Judging by the previews of next week's episode, Usman may adopt, but we'll see if Kimberly accepts that. This episode, Kimberly goes back home to America. She's been in Sokoto for this whole time. She goes back to America now. So we'll see how their relationship plans out. But Kimberly got what she wanted, I guess. I'm excited that she got the blessing. So I'm just kind of curious on how this all plays out, basically, because I don't think Usman, he's not really good with his words. So I think that Usman needs to really take this relationship with Kimberly really seriously. So I hope he gets his K1. I highly doubt it, but we'll see. Next, I want to talk is, who do I want to go with next? There's just so many. Bilal and Shida. So Bilal and Shida. Okay, last week we met one of Shida's friends from London. They came over, and her and Bilal got into like a heated back and forth thing. And it's just still the question about like that this episode, Shida's friend talked to Bilal, said sorry and how aggressive they came out and how that dinner was last week. But the topic of discussion is that Shida wants to have a baby. Bilal doesn't want to have a baby right now and stuff. And the girl was just like, maybe Shida can just forget to take her birth control medicine. And that made me to think, like, wait a minute, is she really on birth control? Or is like, so if she's on birth control, then Shida's playing in that fact. But it may be if she is on birth control, maybe Bilal is like watching her do it and making sure he does it. He's probably like counting the pills and stuff. But nonetheless, like, Bilal's kind of upset because Shida told her friend everything. And it's basically none of the friend's business. But, Shida is really frustrated, basically, just how Bilal's just really been treating her. Because he's not really letting her do anything, basically. And I feel bad for Shida because, like, she's trying. She has, like, all these dreams. Like, I know Bilal wants to be careful, but, he's, like, stomping on her dreams a lot. And he's not giving her any kind of encouragement. Again, I know producers are probably egging these situations on. It may not be as bad as it looks, with especially a lot of these couples, but it's just at the point where they're making Bilal look really, really bad. So, last week Bilal called her friend nosy and everything, and then they just had a big back and forth. They met up and apologized this week, but, it just doesn't change the fact. And Bilal said that this does not change my mind about anything, basically. So it is what it is with Bilal and Shida. They need, we only got a couple episodes left before the tell-all, so they're going to have to get some kind of excitement back before the season's over, just in my opinion. All right, next I want to talk is Angela and Michael. So Angela and Michael, this episode, they're always fighting, of course, and it's just getting repetitive with them. Angela and Michael decide to go to the mechanic this time because Michael needs a new bumper for his car that Angela broke a few weeks ago. So they made up from all the fight, and Michael took down his Instagram finally. And will that solve all their problems? No, but that's just a step in the right direction. Well, this episode, they go to the mechanic and they get a new bumper for Michael's car and stuff, some new tags and everything. Angela paid for it. That's the least she could do. Also in this episode, they decided to go to marriage counseling. And Angela was apprehensive about going because, Nigeria, like, she feels like it's one-sided, and that I do agree with. It's just, like, one-sided. But in this episode, Angela confessed that she actually had, like, a little TikTok crush on that guy that she does duets with. His name is Billy. She confessed that she had like a little crush on him, and Michael's upset and everything. And Michael was just like, it's easy to go, but I still love her, and stuff. And, that Angela's a hypocrite. Like, she's hating on Michael for having Instagram up, but she's duetting on Instagram and TikTok with this guy, and then actually had a crush on him and considered going to Canada with him and stuff. So, Michael's upset. The counselor, made Michael listen to Angela and stuff and everything. But, it's starting to get to the point where Angela needs to take responsibility for her actions instead of blaming Michael for every little thing. Angela needs to take accountable action for the stuff that she's doing. I'm just saying. So that was that. At least they got through an episode without screaming at each other and fighting that much, so that's them. Next couple is, I want to talk is Jovi and Yar. So Jovi and Yar, they're in Europe. Yar is visiting family and friends. that are trying to escape the war in Ukraine. They go to Germany to see another friend. They actually last week they met up with one of Jovi's friends in Prague, and his friend was just like, you're here because of Jovi and stuff, and like, I don't know why you want to stay here and stuff. Yara has an underlining meaning and bad intentions here. We knew that she hated America and wanted to come back here, but she's here and she wants to stay in Europe to help everybody win this fight with the Ukraine, to win the fight with Ukraine. That's all well and good. I have no problem with that, but how Yara is talking, she sounds like she's God. She sounds like she's God. She is not God. She can help from a distance, but what kind of help is she wanting to do? Like, she could send money, but it's really all with Jovi's money because she ain't making nothing. And like, she's doing all of this on her own. Like, she's not like talking to Jovi. Jovi's getting upset because like he wants to go back home to America. Like, maybe now I will admit that like when Jovi's at work, maybe Yara can be over in Europe while he's at work, so she's not stuck in the United States. But then when his time is up, then they go back home together and stuff. So I'll say that. But everything else, Yara just has like this. Like, I don't really think Yara knows what she's doing. She don't know what she's saying. She don't know what she's doing. She thinks she knows. I mean, I know she hates it here in America, but she's married and she has a kid. And like, making these rash decisions, Jovi is not going to move to Europe. He has a lot going on in his life, and and I understand Yara wants to help her people and stuff, and that's fine. I'm with it. But Yara, the way she's going about it is like she's acting like she's the only person that can help everybody. There's been plenty of organizations and charities here throughout since that war began, that's helping the refugees of Ukraine to escape to the other countries. So why does Yara think like she's a god and she could help like everybody? I mean, she can help like her family and friends and stuff, but she wants to try to help everybody. That again, that's all well and good, and I'm not trying to sound mean when I say that, but just the way she's going about it is just not right, and it's not fair to Jovi, and it's not fair to the baby. Because the baby is just as much as Jovi's as it is Yara's. Just saying. So, they get into an argument about that, and Jovi just don't know what he's doing, and Yara's just telling him, Jovi, quit being rude and stuff. I'm with Jovi 100%. I didn't like Jovi in the beginning, but, and I really didn't like Yara in the beginning, and this is more reasons why I don't like Yara. Jovi's actually starting to grow on me a little bit, And I think that Yara just needs to listen for once, and maybe their marriage will get better. So we'll see. And the last couple I want to talk is Elizabeth and Andre. So now we're back to this drama. So Elizabeth and Andre, they announced on social media and at the Grand King with their fathers that they're pregnant. This episode, they meet up with Jen and Becky. Jen and Becky reached out to them and said they want to meet with them. And of course, they found out on social media that she's pregnant. And of course, they're upset about it. And I get why they're upset, but, so they meet up with Elizabeth and Andre. Like, they're mad that Andre showed up at the meeting. They started like, I don't know why you're here. And so she couldn't come alone. And Andre was like, well, I wanted to be there for my wife, protect my wife. Oh, and the girls were like, oh yeah, protect your wife from the sisters. Oh yeah, that's so great. And everything. So that right there was just, So then, like, they're upset that they posted on social media about their being pregnant. And, like, they thinking, of course, it's Andre's fault and all that. Elizabeth and Andre's argument is like, well, y'all went to the mom's birthday party with Charlie being there and turn your back on us after you said you wasn't. Well, you know what? That's your mother. I don't care. And that's still your brother. So they should have gone anyway. I still think with that situation, they all should have gone except for Andre. Andre didn't have to go, but I think Elizabeth and baby Eleanor could have gone. That's just my opinion. So they go back and forth with that, and then Jen starts like Jen and Andre start screaming at each other, and Andre's talking about you're jealous. I make more money than you, this, and that. And Jen was like, do you honestly think I'm jealous of you? And then they were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then all of a sudden, Becky stands up and starts screaming and starts hitting at Andre, saying, shut up, you have no respect. Quit talking to her like that. You have no respect. And started hitting him and stuff, and it's just like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. Like that family is violent. They're all violent. And they're all snobby, I think. And last week, the dad, Chuck, mentioned that they want to do group family therapy. And we'll see probably on the last episode when they do their therapy and how that goes. But I can't wait to see that because, yeah, that family needs as much therapy as they can possibly get. And so, so then Elizabeth, separates Andre and Becky. And, and I don't know. It's just, I get why Elizabeth and Andre did what they did, but, I think they should have told the family first before posting it on social media. I mean, it is what it is, but, I mean, I know Elizabeth and Andre are just tired of the drama of it, because, the family is just, they're nothing but, they're nothing but drama queens, clearly, so... And this episode just proved the point why we're just tired of this family just being ignorant. And again, I'm not team Andre either. Andre, I think, is rude and doesn't know how to talk to people without cussing and everything. So I'm not on either team on this. The only person who I like out of this whole family is Elizabeth. Because Andre, he's arrogant, and Elizabeth's siblings, they're just rude and ignorant. So, nobody's winning, so... I see both sides, good and bad, but at the end of the day, they all need help. I'm just saying. So yeah, that was this week's episode of Happily Ever After, guys. Thank you guys for watching The Single Life. Today's the final episode of The Single Life. They're doing a 3-part tell-all. I might do the tell-alls. I'm not going to do the last episode, but I might do the tell-alls. Because, the tell-alls are, the tell-alls are good. That's why they call it the tell-all. And as for Happily Ever After, I think we got a couple more weeks left. They still have not announced the new season of 90 Day. I don't know because I know this season's about to wrap up. We usually have a trailer by now of the upcoming season. So I don't know if we're going to have 90 Day Fiancé the other way coming in January. Because I'm projecting the season to be done by December 18th. And with since all new episodes are on Sundays, Christmas and New Year's are on Sundays this year, so they may not have new episodes until the week after New Year's. But still, we don't have a trailer yet for whatever spinoff is next. So I do know, on Mondays coming up in December, the 90 Day after the 90 Days with David and Annie, and then Lauren and Lexi are coming back. But that's going to be on Mondays. I don't know if we're going to have the other way come back or before the 90 days come back, so I don't know. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back. See you guys next week since Married at First Sight is done now. And, we ain't got no shows. And I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. I'll be back next week for Happily Ever After. And then next week I'll do the Single Life tell-alls. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Have a nice day.